Welcome to the club. Do you keep a diary? Good. Anybody here keep a journal or a diary?
No.
I know you do.
Oh, sometimes I do.
You've got a book. I started something new, and whenever I do something, I go all in, gung-ho, jump out of the back of the airplane. So I started keeping a journal. And the first thing you want to do is you want to figure out, why would I want to keep a journal? Isn't that a diary that for girls? What do you think of that? What do you think of that for a girl?
It depends how many demons you got to write it down.
Okay. So I started actually doing this for this year's speeches. And for every speech, I would keep a record of the speech. And then throughout the year, I was keeping pictures and different little notes people sent me. And I didn't realize I was starting to keep a journal. But this is what I started this year. And whenever I do something, I write in this book. But it's not a diary, it's just notes. So I said, I should keep a journal. Because it could be important for the future. And of course, the first thing you do is you go out and buy a book about journals. So you can learn how to keep one. And that's what I did. I bought a book, Jim Rohn, How to Keep a Journal. And there are a lot of famous journals you didn't even consider. Anybody name a famous journal? I'll name them, you'll know it. Anyone name a famous journal?
Diary of Anne Frank.
That's right, that's one of the top 3. Congratulations. Rich, ding, ding, ding.
Wow.
Anybody else?
Samuel Pepys.
Oh, okay. I got 2 more good ones. Charles Darwin, Voyage of the Beagle.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, oh yeah. Lewis and Clark. There are a lot of famous journals. And everybody ever heard of Henry David Thoreau?
Yes.
He wrote 2 million words. Of course, he wasn't working at the time, so he had the time to write 2 million words. But he wrote 2 million words over 25 years, and it was published. So when you keep a journal, there could be reasons for it. They don't have to be public. You might just keep a journal of your travels. Let's say you go on a trip this year, travel somewhere, you keep a journal, a daily log of where you went, what you saw, and it's not limited to your thoughts. Put pictures, receipts, inspirational quotes. There are all sorts of journals. Let's say you have a goal in mind, which is what I have. I have some goals in mind this year, which I'm starting to write down in my journal because I have a thought in my head, and right away it's gone, because I'm old. You're young, David. Those thoughts don't go out so quick. You're young too. Robert, you do the journal. Since I got a little excited, I went out and of course I overindulged myself and I now have 4 journals. Because amazing can't have 1 journal. I've got my first journal right here, which is the Catch program, which I keep all my speeches or any particular picture I might like electronically. But of course hackers could see this, so I have to go to my other journal. This is just for Toastmaster meetings. Whenever I go to a Toastmaster meeting now, and whatever I do at that meeting, I'm going to put in this journal. Because I figure I'll be a Toastmaster for a few years, and before you know it, I will fill this up. And I have a journal here, this is the one for the Toastmaster meeting, and this is the journal for this year. And whenever I think of an important thought, which I think is important with my big ego, I write it down in here. For instance, Robert the other day told me I was his accountability partner. And I wrote that right there, accountability partner. I didn't know what that was. Anyone ever heard of that? So I never heard of accountability partner. I looked it up. And 3 times in one day, from 3 different sources unrelated to my looking up, that word came. So I really knew it was important enough to write that in my journal. So you might want to keep a journal. You might want to keep a journal to see how far you've come from where you are today. Maybe you have some problems you want to work out, and you work them out on paper. Maybe you're keeping a history for family or for your future growth. Maybe you want to say some unkind things about someone that you don't want someone to see. Whose idea was that? Stephen's. You have all sorts of opportunities here to keep a journal, and a lot of people keep journals, believe it or not. It's not just for little girls anymore. So as you are getting into the new year, maybe you want to try something different. Maybe you want to start keeping a journal, write down the ideas, write down your goals, and look back 6 months from now or a year from now and say, this is my goal on January 1st. What did I do to attain that goal? And am I any closer to it? And maybe you find that you are. Or maybe you find that you had that goal, but you didn't take the steps And that's what I'm doing with my journal. I have a goal in mind for this year, and I'm writing down the steps I want to take to keep track of myself. Well, you know, once you get out over 18, there's no mommy and daddy to tell you what to do, so that on your own you let things slide. So I would hope that you would all be like me and go out and buy a journal and start keeping one. But don't get carried away. One is enough for anyone.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris.